I'm Jeanette Wynn, president of our GOOF Board of Trustees this year. As such, I'm a member of our COVID-19 task force, whom you see on your screen now. I'd like to introduce everyone here so you can put faces with names in case you don't know everybody already. We are lucky to have two medical professionals on our task force. First, we have Dr. Bob Shadle, who's a retired public health physician. And Denise Frick is a retired respiratory therapist and patient safety officer. Next, we have Kathy Jaggers, who's a retired lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps, who serves as chair of GOOF's Safety Committee. And of course, Reverend Lisa is also on the task force. Additionally, Stephanie Glasser Alfieri, the director of the UU World of Children preschool, is a member of our task force. But you don't see her on the screen today because she's busy with parent conferences now. As you probably know, the preschool has reopened successfully for several months now, thanks to their very stringent COVID regulations and screenings that they have implemented. This task force has met almost every week since we closed over a year ago, and that's a lot of hours, I can assure you. So huge thanks to all of these folks who have given so generously of their time. Now, as case counts go down, we're looking forward to being able to start experimenting with some outdoor in-person events. We've done our best to create a plan that's flexible and allows us to gather, keeping in mind that how to do that safely and at the same time be inclusive to those more vulnerable members of our congregation. And we also want to be good neighbors beyond our GOOF community. We want to do our part to keep community spread down.
Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, I'm Dr. Bob Shadle. The GOOF task force has adopted gating criteria and strategies to try and get GOOF reopened safely as quickly as possible. We've utilized the sources from CDC, from international WHO, which is the World Health Organization. We've utilized the UU guidance documents, both from national and regional sources. We have also looked at sources such as the Johns Hopkins coronavirus resource, church groups such as the Wisconsin Council of Churches and the state of Michigan. We continue to monitor these sources on, if not a daily basis, a weekly basis. We utilize daily monitoring of the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, which gives us data which is based down to our county level data so that we can react and get our strategies on a most direct and pertinent basis for GOOF. We're most excited about the SARS-CoV-2 vaccine. This has represented a major medical and scientific breakthrough, one of genetic vaccines, never been done before. The vaccine has been developed in record time, 1 to 2 year time frame versus 5 to 10 year time frame for previous vaccines. In addition, it has shown that all the vaccines that we have available have incredible effectiveness, over 90% effective. In addition, they have been shown to demonstrate the development of long-standing protective antibodies. Thus, vaccination should prove to limit significantly the spread of COVID-19 and really change the whole course of this pandemic. Thank you.
As we reopen, I'd like to encourage everyone, all of us, to enter into this process with a spirit of curiosity. You may know this about me already, or you may not. I tend to be a person who likes to plan ahead and know what's going to happen when. So I have to regularly remind myself to be curious as well. Let me put this on gallery view just in case. We are enjoying welcoming you into our Zoom meeting today, and you can enjoy a couple of technical, questions and glitches as we have come to expect now. But I have to remind myself to be curious as well. We're going to have to experiment and try things and see what works and what doesn't work. This is a time of significant transition on all levels, both for our fellowship community and for the community around us. So it gives us an opportunity to think creatively and try new things. Unitarian Universalist Association President, Reverend Susan Frederick Gray, reminds us of the following values, which are a few of the values that undergird the Unitarian Universalist Association's response to the pandemic and the guidance that they are providing for congregations. They have been, that national and regional staff have been invaluable in this process, pushing out tons of content and helpful stuff on many levels. So these are some of the values that undergird their planning. And as a Unitarian Universalist fellowship, we hold these values as well. First, our affirmation that good science coupled with our UU values must be the basis upon which we make decisions about in-person gathering. That accessibility and inclusion for all of our members and friends to participate in our fellowship, regardless of health status, health vulnerability, or ability. Ethical treatment and expectations for our volunteer leaders and our staff, minimizing the risks to their own health and well-being. And finally, perhaps most importantly, commitment to our mission, our community, and our theology more than ever, being mindful of the spiritual demands of this transition. So with those values in mind, I am reminding myself we don't need to rush to have everything figured out right away. Perfection is not the goal. Connection, inclusion, and safety are our goals. Further, we did create the reopening plan in phases, and part of the reason for that was that we wanted to have opportunities to make mistakes on a smaller scale and learn what works and what doesn't and adjust as we go. I know that this fellowship is excellent at creating community and solving challenging problems together, and I look forward to continuing to do that work. But most of all, I look forward to being with you in person, hopefully soon.
Hi, I'm Kathy Jaggers, and I'm head of your safety team. And I know everybody is excited about getting together again and hopefully not hugging just yet, but maybe, bumping elbows or something. And to me, that's going to be awesome, just seeing people in person. But we still, as Rev Lisa and everyone else has said, we still have to maintain the view of safety being paramount in all this. And it's not just the safety of our own persons, but that the decisions that we make congregationally or small group can impact other congregations and the wider community. And so we want to make sure that any risk taking that we do or any actions that we take can affect far more than just ourselves. The things that we're going to be putting in place for the outdoor services are not strange to any of us. Masking, social distancing, just being aware of, for instance, if we have a service outside, it'll be a bring your own chair or blanket sort of service. Right now, in this particular phase, we're not going to be indulging in food or drink. We still are going to have to monitor bathroom use to make sure that appropriate social distancing will be done. I think the biggest thing that I would hope that we would all do before we come to any of these services is to evaluate our own possible symptoms. If you've had any of these symptoms within the last 48 hours, please don't come. Please don't come, because that means that you might, expose someone else to them. It's the usual: fever and chills, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle or body aches, headache, new loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion or runny nose, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. So if you have those, please don't come. The services that we have outside will be live streamed, so you'll be able to see, not in person, but be able to see and connect with the people via those live streams. I guess the best thing I can say is we need to remain vigilant and remain cautious and do the things that we're pretty used to doing now, the masking and the social distancing. Let's not remove those from our behaviors just yet. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Denise Frick. And so you can see we're basing our reopening parameters on available science and guidelines that will guide how we interact and socialize with each other. Another aspect of all this is our own safety culture. To be a successful safety culture, we need to emphasize the need to keep ourselves and everyone else safe. Some ways to have a good safety culture in our own GOOF organization is to remember that everyone is empowered to speak up and stop things that might not look right. So for example, if you're at an outdoor event and someone's mask has slipped below their nose, it's just fine to say in a friendly way, hey, your mask needs to be pulled up a bit. That's a safety culture when we're comfortable and empowered to speak up to help each other. Another aspect of the safety culture is just being informed. We'd like you to encourage you to read the reopening plan and let us know if you have any questions, if you don't understand it. That way everyone is aware of the risks involved. As Reverend Lisa said earlier, we're all in learning mode. If we have some bumps in the reopening process, we'll discuss them with an eye toward improving the next time. Please speak up if you see something that needs more clarification or is confusing to you. We'd be happy to review it and talk about it and discuss any concerns that arise. We're all learning as we go. And lastly, teamwork is required of all of us. Let's remember that when problems occur, it doesn't serve any of us to blame an anonymous they. Let's keep communicating and learning together. The safest way for all of us to be in community. Everyone is working together to help each other to be successful.
So thanks so much for listening. Do your part to keep those cases coming down so we can reopen. Wash your hands, wear your mask, stay socially distanced, pay attention to ventilation, and get vaccinated as soon as you can. And we'll all look forward to seeing you in person again as soon as possible. Thanks.